The year was 1894. The place was Pullman, Illinois, a town built and controlled by the Pullman Palace Car Company. This company made fancy railroad sleeping cars. George Pullman, the owner, seemed like a benevolent boss at first. He built homes, schools, and churches for his workers. It appeared to be a model town, a workers' paradise, but all was not well. Pullman controlled every aspect of his workers' lives. He owned everything: the houses, the stores, even the church. Workers lived under his thumb. Then came the panic of 1893. The economy tanked. Orders for Pullman cars plummeted. Pullman slashed his workers' wages by 25%. He claimed he needed to do this to keep the company afloat. But here's the kicker. He didn't lower the rents or prices in his company town. Workers were squeezed. They could barely afford food, let alone pay rent. Something had to give. In May of 1894, desperate Pullman workers walked off the job. They had had enough. The strike began. They demanded better wages and fair treatment. At first, the strike was confined to Pullman, but then a charismatic leader stepped in, Eugene V. Debs. Debs headed the American Railway Union, or ARU. He was a powerful speaker, a champion of the working man. Debs saw the Pullman strike as a fight for all workers. He rallied the ARU to support the Pullman strikers. The ARU, representing railway workers across the nation, refused to handle any trains with Pullman cars. The boycott spread like wildfire. It crippled rail traffic across the country. From Chicago to California, trains sat idle. The nation's economy ground to a halt. The Pullman strike was no longer just about a few thousand workers in Illinois. It had become a national crisis. The government, siding with the powerful railroad companies, took swift and brutal action. President Grover Cleveland sent federal troops to Chicago. Their mission? To crush the strike and break the Union. Violence erupted. Strikers fought back against the troops and company guards. The government used the violence as an excuse to crack down even harder. They arrested Debs and other union leaders on trumped-up charges. Without their leadership, the strike lost momentum. By August, the Pullman strike was broken. The workers were defeated. The Pullman strike may have ended in defeat, but it left an indelible mark on American history. It exposed the government's willingness to use force against workers fighting for their rights. It showed the power of solidarity, how workers could bring a nation to its knees. The strike also highlighted the need for labor reforms. Public support for labor unions grew. In a small victory for workers, the Pullman strike led to the creation of Labor Day as a federal holiday in 1894. The Pullman strike was a turning point. It showed that the struggle between labor and capital was far from over. The fight for economic justice had just begun. The spirit of the Pullman strikers lived on, inspiring generations of workers to organize and demand fair treatment.